Hello, everyone. Welcome to Legal Insights from the FRSA 100th Annual Convention in Daytona Beach, Florida. I'm here with Trent Cotney, our legal advisor and contributor from Adams and Reese. And Trent, let's talk about FRSA, the Florida Roof and Sheet Metal Contractors Association, and tell me how you got started with this group.
Sure, Rick. Well, thanks again for having me. It's always a pleasure to be here. I've been involved with FRSA for 20 plus years now. I first got involved with the local Tampa affiliate back in the late 90s, and I've been going there ever since. I've probably been to every monthly meeting, or pretty much every monthly meeting since that time. And then I think my first FRSA convention, if I remember right, was 2002, maybe 2003, and I spoke there on mold. Mold was the big issue back then because they really hadn't come up with mold disclaimers or anything like that. And thinking back, it's kind of funny now because we all know how to deal with that. But have been to every convention since, and it's a real honor to be here during the 100th. To be able to participate, and we've got a booth. I've been able to speak. I've been able to interact with everybody, and it's a real privilege for me because I think FRSA, for me at least, and I know a lot of the people feel the same way, is it's like family. I mean, I really have come to know these people better than a lot of my relatives, and I see these people and I spend time with them, and I see them at least 3 or 4 times a year if I don't see them more than that. And it's really that family type environment that you get here. So for me, that's what's so great about being here.
Yeah, they're our tribe, no question about that. It's interesting you mentioned about mold being the hot topic back in the day, but the insurance companies straighten that out. I know on my policy, it just has one exclusion after another as it relates to mold. It's been in the news lately with Florida and insurance, deductibles, insurability. Talk to us a little bit about what's happening lately, say after that last special session of the legislature, and even let us know how the insurance companies, the roofing contractors, and homeowners all see what's happening right now with that.
Sure, and so this is the hot topic in the roofing industry as it relates to Florida, and there are a lot of other states. I'm about to speak for one of the Texas groups, and they were very interested to see what we were doing here in Florida, because whatever happens in Florida as it relates to insurance will end up probably going nationwide. And the struggle here in Florida is that insurers don't want to be here. The property insurers don't want to be here because there's so many storms, there's so many hurricanes, and it's hard to find insurers that will come in and insure properties. And as part of that, consumers want to get their roofs repaired or replaced if there's a hailstorm or there's other storm damage that's out there. And then stuck in the middle is the roofing contractor, right? So they've got to be able to figure out whether or not, how can they help facilitate claims, how can they navigate all these different laws. So it's created a unique dynamic because you've got some bad actors there on the roofing side that have given roofing contractors a bad name. And what that's done is it's created a knee-jerk type reaction where insurance companies are pulling stuff back, are advocating for heavy change that limits solicitation, that limits the ability to get roofs replaced. And there's a lot of push and pull here. I think one of the things that I've heard over and over again from contractors while I've been here is they don't know what the current law is. And the reason they don't know that is because there are so many new changes that happen every single year, some of which become law, some of which don't. So it requires constant vigilance, and I think, Rick, you will continue to see this play out over the next few years. It's by no means is it settled because the insurance lobby is very powerful. They will continue to push for whatever changes they can to limit their exposure, and in turn, consumers and roofing contractors are kind of left to figure out where do they fit in here. So very interesting, and like I said, this is the front line. This is the absolute front line for this insurance battle. So regardless of whether you're listening to this and you're in Colorado or Denver or other big storm markets, Florida is where you need to look because that's going to end up trickling out across the U.S.
One of the other things about Florida is it is highly regulated in terms of professional regulations. Roofing contractors have to be certified. They are supposed to be certified, while a lot of states, like where I'm from Georgia, Texas, they call it the Wild West because there is no licensure. I could be a roofing contractor by later this afternoon if I could get to the business license fast enough in Georgia. But it's kind of a two-sided sword, because when a licensed contractor does a job, he's putting his license, his professional reputation on the line. And an unlicensed individual practicing the same way, doing the same job, isn't damaging anything. And quite frequently they get away with it. So I always tell folks who long for this licensing, be careful what you wish for.
Right, and that's, it's interesting you mentioned that, Rick, because just at the business lunch today, we had Secretary Melanie Griffin talk about the importance of licensure. She heads up the Department of Business and Professional Regulation for the state, and Florida is one of those states that has heavy licensing. So you can't even sub out work if you're a roofing contractor unless that sub is also licensed. So they're going to continue to aggressively pursue unlicensed contracting. And if you're in a state that has licensure, this is incredibly important because it's not an even playing field, right? If you're not licensed, if you're not insured, you can offer those jobs for less. You're going to get that work. Might not be as good. Quality control might be a problem, but you're going to put licensed contractors out of business if you don't properly regulate it. So here in the state of Florida, they're absolutely going to continue to pour money into regulating that and to making sure that licensed contractors continue to have jobs.
Well, I started the industry in 1974 out of Jacksonville, selling equipment to roofing contractors, and the person I worked for, Julian Benjamin, was a stalwart when it came to supporting industry associations, particularly the National Roofing Contractors Association Midwest and the Florida Roofing Sheet Metal Contractors Association, because it was our home state. And Florida, if you didn't know this, has really the strongest single state association in the country. I don't know one with as many members or with that leads in the industry quite the way this one does. Mm-hmm. So I've always been really proud, and I'm really glad to be back here at the 100th convention. I couldn't miss it because it's here in Daytona Beach where the very first convention in 1922 was held. So it's kind of exciting times here.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what I was saying. It's a real honor to be here during this type of anniversary. And I got to bring my family. My son's here. He's going to help me in the booth tomorrow, and I'd like him to get in the industry somehow. Please don't be a lawyer, but if there's anything else that he can do in the industry, I'd love to see that. And it's great because, like I said, it's about family. And I've gotten to know generation after generation of roofing contractor just by coming to these events. So fantastic event. Really happy to be here.
I hate to admit how many times I've said to folks on the show floor today, I did business with your dad, or I did business with your granddad. I'm really dating myself that way. Yep. Well, thanks so much for joining us, and we always appreciate your legal insights. How do our subscribers and readers and viewers get a hold of Trent Cotney?
Sure. Well, you can always hit me up at trent.cotney@arlaw.com, and or go to Roofing Contractor Magazine's website. I'm there. Feel free to hit me up there as well.
And that's roofingcontractor.com. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.